Good evening and welcome. You'll see why I'm smiling in a moment. And welcome to BeLive on a Friday with myself and Bridgetti. I've just had a notification that Bridgetti's on the way. But in the lobby today, I've got my good friend Fons, but he's got a very special guest too. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Fons live onto the screen and we can meet our very special guest today.
Hello.
Hello, Fons. It's
Yeah,
good to see you. I'm looking forward to next week. But for the moment, you have your hands full, do you not?
No, I do, yeah. I'm doing a bit of looking after. Shall I show my guest? Special
You
guest.
should. You should.
It's my grandson. Here he is.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, it's really brilliant. And your grandson's name?
Joseph.
Hello, Joseph.
He's trying to get hold of the camera. He wants to take control.
Oh.
I'm training him.
Budding director there, and say hello to Corinda, who says hello to us, two of us.
Hi. Yeah, I'm training him up for when I retire. He's taking my place. So this is lesson one.
He's going to take over.
Yeah.
Well, he's into the video side of it. That's for sure.
Yeah, he wants to hold the camera. He wants to hold the phone, everything. So he's getting there already.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still trying to grab it.
The sooner the training starts, the quicker he'll learn. I mean, the thing is about children today that they grow up with the technology.
Oh, definitely.
It's
going back to my childhood. My parents never had a clue about how to use a video recorder, and I had to show them. And it's the same sort of thing with computers. Probably children now know more than what we do.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
He has said he's going to take over, but he's got to put it on hold till he gets through the teething problem.
Oh right, okay, and totally understand.
Yeah.
Ah. You have to show him the recording afterwards.
Yeah. He's trying to say something. He's trying to say his piece. Ooh.
Oh.
Show, eh?
Hello. Hello. Oh, it's a beautiful smile.
He's a natural, isn't he?
He is. Yeah. He's got the camera skills already, looking straight at the camera. I'm so impressed.
He's going to be taken over before I retire by looks of it.
He is.
He's laughing at that.
And Corinda is saying he learned to stream when he was about 10. So, but your young man is not 10, is he? He's going to learn about live streaming.
Not even 1.
Wow.
About 9-10 months. But he's brilliant.
Right, and we're just about to be joined by Bridgetti. Bridgetti is going to have a surprise.
It's no replacement.
Because I just said special guest. I'm just waiting for Bridgetti to actually come through. I know she's had computer problems, so I'm just waiting a second. And Corinda is saying, "Wow, all right, okay." Now, Bridgetti, you'll see our new co-host on screen. Hello, Bridgetti. Now,
Hello, and I absolutely love our new little co-host. Oh my goodness!
I'm training him to take over when I retire.
Hi, Fons.
Hi.
Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, how sweet! This has got to be the youngest little broadcaster on BeLive.
And look at that natural smile. I mean, he's
I know.
Loves the camera. Brilliant.
He's a natural.
Totally. Runs in the family. No doubt.
He's going to ask for his own show now, isn't they?
He could. There's another thought. Live video, children's shows.
Moment, though. They just sit there smiling at everybody. If he's had a bad day, here, come on and just smile at them and make them feel all better.
That's it. Smiling's good.
He finds that funny.
Actually, I must tell you, I saw something a few days ago. I was busy researching something, and there was a program that was launched at schools where they had a baby join the classroom for a period of a year. And hi, Corinda. And it actually, the reason why they had started this program was to sensitize children to the feelings, to their own feelings and feelings for other people using a baby that they had to relate to over a period of a year. Because, there's so much stuff on TV and phones and access to the internet that desensitizes children to feelings of others and how they deal with people. And so I thought this program was excellent, using a baby that they now felt somewhat responsible for, watching it develop, seeing how it reacted to situations. They could relate to when the baby was feeling happy or sad or stressed or tenacious, and it helped them express their own feelings. And I thought that was absolutely an amazing program. I thought that is great. I just love that concept.
Oh, I've got nip off for a couple of minutes, but I'll be back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be back.
See you soon, friends.
Right.
And grandson. There you are. That was a surprise, wasn't it? He didn't tell me who the special guest was. So
lovely surprise that was.
Indeed. Right now, talking of surprises, you had a sad surprise with your Mac today. Your Apple Mac.
I did, and I know. I'm not quite sure what it was, but I had 2 monitors plugged in, and I think it didn't like the one monitor. And it started last night. My computer screen just kept flashing, and while I was broadcasting. And of course, there's nothing more unnerving or disturbing when you're producing a show and your screen just goes pitch black on you, like several times during the broadcast. The one thing, I had a co-host, which is fantastic. Angelina co-hosts the show with me, and it was actually an amazing conversation. We had Carlos as a guest, and we're talking about what's things that are inappropriate online, because there's a lot of that online. As much as there's a lot of good, there's also a lot of inappropriateness that goes on. So that was the conversation. But I was so pleased, and that's one of the nice things when you have a co-host, they can pick up the slack when something goes wrong. And thankfully, one of the bonuses of BeLive is that the broadcast will not terminate as long as you don't terminate it. So even if you're not there for some reason, the broadcast will continue. So it was one of the times last night when I kept thinking to myself, yay, thank goodness, my co-host could just carry on, and I didn't have to stress too much about it because I knew she would keep the conversation going. So that was absolutely fabulous.
And Corinda's saying, yes, that was great. He really enjoyed the show. And his second question
Thanks, Corinda.
Does your Apple Mac, is it still under warranty?
No, it isn't. It's a 2014 model, so it's way past the warranty stage.
Yeah,
but I do believe that it was possibly just that additional monitor that was an issue. I eventually managed to restore my operating system and restore all my data. It's the one thing I love. The restore part is fairly easy. It takes a bit of time, but everything is back to the way it was previously. You don't have to reinstall software or nothing. It just works. So I'm very thankful for that. I wasn't panicked too much when I sort of thought about the time, because I thought, well, if push comes to shove, I can just join the show on my phone. That would not have been an issue at all. But I'm hosting one in the BeLivers group in 2 hours from now. So that was a little bit of a concern for me.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you've got to be able to start the show, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
That's key.
Yeah.
And we can't do that from mobile, which is down to Facebook. Indeed.
Correct.
Right, now we've got a big day coming up on Monday because it's BeLive TV's second birthday. And
it's I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. I mean, it's I cannot believe how quickly the time has passed, that it's already the second birthday celebration. It's all gone so quickly, and we've had a lot of fun along the way.
Oh, we have, and we've met a lot of good people along the way as well. And Fonz is back.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, I had to go and chat to my son. He was seeing how his son was. I've just given the shocking news that his son's appeared on the show. So.
Oh right, okay. Yeah. Right. Well, they can watch the replay and see.
That's what I said to him. He wants me to send it to him.
Right. Brilliant. And we're
talking. I say he's got a fan club already.
He has. Definitely. He's got the two of us.
Indeed, he has a fan club. Indeed. Start young. Start building his page.
Yeah.
Right. And BeLive TV's sorry.
No, he's going to outdo us.
Right. Okay. BeLive TV's birthday is on Monday. BeLive TV started broadcasting, or we started broadcasting on BeLive.tv on the 15th of October 2016. And then they had the first birthday. And as Bridgetti was saying, it doesn't seem 5 minutes ago. Time is just flying.
I know. It's absolutely insane. Crazy.
Totally. And you joined this year, Fonz?
Yeah. It's like radio. I started radio in the late 90s, and some of the stuff I did only seems like yesterday that I've done it, really. My first job on radio was getting there early in the morning and sorting out the news for somebody else to read. And in the background, that was one of my very first jobs. And it doesn't seem that long ago. I used to sit there and have a laugh and a joke with some of the other presenters. Time goes by quick.
Fonz, you've been in broadcasting for so long. How do you see all these new developments? I mean, does it excite you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Because my area was local history. I got involved with radio because it always fascinated me. My thing was always history, but I always liked radio, and I wanted to work behind the scenes. But then the station manager found out that I had a keen interest in history, and he said, "You're natural to do something about history." And I wasn't sure about doing them behind the mic. I was all nervous and all that. But he was a great guy, and actually one weekend he sat with me and went through it all with me and showed me how to do stuff and taught me. So I started doing an hour show once a month on local history. And the first show I couldn't do live to start with. I was terrified, and I sat there and I took basically the show. It took me 3 hours to record my voice track because I kept thinking that's not good enough. I took it home and edited all bits over the top of it, and in total it took me 16 hours just to make one show. That was my very first show. But as time went by, it got easier, and the show became quite popular. I asked for it fortnightly, then it turned weekly, so it had to come more of a live format. And so I started doing live. The station then sadly had to close because I just couldn't find the funding. And I ended up on other stations doing different things. Ended up doing an afternoon show, then did a breakfast show, and that was live, and that was brilliant. And I actually found out doing that such a buzz afterwards that, like, you want to be, you're on for 3 hours, but you wish you could do another 3 hours. And after that, I moved away from radio for a little while, but I've just got back into doing radio. But looking at this, BeLive in this format, I wish I had that back when I first did my history show, because I used to sit there and say, I'm looking at a picture and I can see this horse and cart in it, there's some iron railings, and I found that quite a struggle. And I did set up a website to show the pictures and link people to it, and that sort of helped. But this would have been perfect back when I first did my history radio show. Now transferring it to here is brilliant. It's so much easier because I can just flick the picture up, tell people the history, and I can't believe how popular it's come. It's like I get people all over the world contact me, and it's amazing.
Hi, Fernando. So basically, I mean, you don't even need to start your own show. I mean, you don't even need a studio any longer. You don't need all that equipment.
No.
You can literally just do it on the go.
Yeah.
And you can do it from a home studio.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, for someone like yourself, have you got like archives of your material that you can now kind of reuse?
Not the radio stuff. I've got all my radio shows. I've got copies of that I did do. I've got a box full of them. There must be like 300 shows, something like that, of all different radio shows. But can't use any of them because they belong to the stations. That thinking, but I do on some of my shows take what I said in the show, the script, and use it on my show because it's reusing it. But I can't use clips of the original ones or anything, which is a bit of a shame. Because they don't.
But didn't you say the station closed down?
Yeah, it
or
did.
Do you...
Well, they got brought out by somebody else who owns.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Who owns the name and the content, which is basically they closed, but then another organisation brought what was their stock really, and they can use my stuff anytime they want, but they probably won't because it's all out of date now. But it makes it hard. I don't want to get in any trouble sharing it really. And I'm still doing radio. I'm just in a different sort of thing. I did do a show in Stevenage, which was a vinyl show. I then got offered a better deal because you have to take what you can get, really. And I now do a show for North Hearts FM where it's the music. Basically, look at this week in history. So on Sunday, I'll be looking at this week in history with different music and news stories in history.
Got a question from Corinda, and it's interesting that the question itself is interesting because you're on radio,
yeah,
which has been here since forever,
yeah,
right. But the question from Corinda is, have you heard of TuneIn and Mixcloud fonts? Do you put your shows there? Now, that's the contrast between. Go on.
Yeah, we had TuneIn, just obviously a radio station format, in different radio stations, and some of my shows are probably on there. It's the same as Mixcloud. If you probably Google me or just search Mixcloud, there's probably some of my old stuff that I've done on there still somewhere. I have no idea.
Stephen, speaking of which, do you strip the audio from your videos to repurpose?
I have done, and they've gone onto SoundCloud. I don't. The shows that we're doing are too long, really, to actually put out. I think, and we do have breaks in them. So, if you're listening to it, it would be difficult. I don't know. I'm not convinced yet.
It's funny saying that because my show started off on radio about local history. If I just put the sound out, it wouldn't make any sense anymore because here's a picture and okay, we don't know what it looks like because you're showing it and we can't see it. So it's strange how something started on radio doesn't fit radio audio format anymore.
Yeah.
I can imagine. Stephen, can I ask you something quickly? Is my my internet's really bad because I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to figure out if it's mine or if it's Fonz's. Can you let me know?
You're looking reasonably okay. Fonz is looking okay too. I think we're okay to go. I don't see any major problems at the moment.
Okay, just let me know, will you? And I want to mention something else quickly because we've had a few people that has had issues with feedback during a broadcast. So what you can check is just, if everyone's wearing headsets and you're still getting feedback, another possible issue could be that you're having another tab open with sound on, so that could also provide feedback despite the fact that you are wearing a headset. So just for the sake of troubleshooting, that's one thing you can check out.
Yeah, and it happens at random on some broadcasts, and we're all set up. Everybody's set up correctly, and all of a sudden you get an echo, and it comes in, and it disappears again. So I think it is very random. Therefore, it's very difficult for everybody to actually tie down what the cause of it is. Right, as we've got here, Fons, and it's only weeks away from November 23rd.
Yeah.
Could you explain what's happening on November 23rd?
Yeah, it's creeping up quite quick. It's quite getting a bit scary now. One thing I have done in the past, talking about radio, I did a 24-hour non-stop radio broadcast. So I was the presenter, the whole thing for 24 hours. And being me, I always like to give something back. So in radio, I've done that, give something back, helped a good cause through that. And I thought, how can I do the same through BeLive with my show? And I thought, I can't do 24 hours. People get sick of looking at me. So I thought 12 hours broadcast. So on the 23rd of November, I'm going to be doing a 12-hour broadcast, like in different slots. So some an hour, little break, 2 hours, that sort of thing, because Facebook only let you broadcast for so long. So it has to be done that because of that. But I've got some cool guests from TV and radio and music. Also got outside broadcasts by North Herts FM, who are going to go around in the Hertfordshire area talking to people, playing music, and it's going to be good. And it's supporting fight bladder cancer, which is one of the, I think it's the 5th form of cancer that's known to kill people, really. So it's quite high up there, and little research is done on it.
Very good cause.
Yeah, so it's
very good cause.
So it's going to help their research and help people, not only people suffering from it, they also, fight bladder cancer also supports the families. So a lot of people don't realise that the families go through a lot of emotional through watching their partners, dads, family member go through it, and they also offer support to them. So it's a full way round that this money will help support people. If people want to see who the full guests are, they can go to my website, cambridgehistorian.co.uk. Scroll on the homepage, there's a full list of guests on there. And just underneath the guests is a link where people can donate. So whatever people can. I'm not asking people to donate loads of money. If we had 100 people donate £1 each in English money, that's £100. So even if give £1, it will all help. So sometimes little is best. Little or more is best sometimes.
That's true. I'm gonna go and find the link because I want to post a link on the show.
Yeah.
So Bridgetti, do you have questions about the event? And I think Pons might have a question for you about being on the show.
Yeah, very welcome to be on the show.
Oh, that sounds awesome. I'd love to participate.
I need as many people as I can, really. But I've got some people that I've worked with over the years in the UK, connected to the UK, like TV programmes and radio broadcasts. But it just basically just come on and chat and share information. And I know that the charities can also have, talking to them yesterday, arranging with them, they're going to have somebody who's suffering from bladder cancer, somebody who cares for like a carer for people with bladder cancer, and also people from the organisation, so you can hear the full story of how they help people, which is brilliant. And people can come on and ask.
I know.
Carry on.
It's an awesome cause, and I love that you including the family of the cancer patient, because they very often are forgotten, as you said.
Yeah.
People don't realize. I mean, any cancer patient has got a support system around them, a carer, and it's very stressful on them. It has an impact on the entire family's life, not just the sufferer.
I've had families suffer from cancer, family members and close friends suffer from cancer, and the impact on family members is it's terrible, some people, and they're left, don't know how to deal with things. So they do need support as well, and like bladder cancer does offer that support as well, and that's why another reason why I chose them to support it, because it's the whole picture really. It's everything.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Great cause. And if I can be of any assistance,
Definitely.
I too been in the same boat. Very close family members and friends who've been affected by cancer and who've passed on of cancer. So it is a topic that's close to my heart as well. I think you'd be really hard pressed to find a family or a person that's not been affected by cancer. It's so prolific that almost every person you speak to can relate to what the experience is like, because they've had either a close friend or a family member who's been affected by cancer.
The thing is, people I watched my girlfriend, her dad had cancer, and they found out basically we got really ill. So when they found out he only had weeks to live, and the effect it had on the family, it was, there was nobody's support and nothing with it. And people do, even when they've gone, they're left struggling, and it's good that support can be offered.
No, absolutely. I totally agree with you. I had one of my uncles many years ago. We found out he had cancer, and within the week he was gone. It was, it kind of just hits you between the eyes. Like, how does this happen? It's.
I think even as well, though,
so.
If you know, even if you know for a long time, it still doesn't change. Okay, they're going to pass away, but I think even it's just as bad as it's coming suddenly. Even you can never prepare yourself, and a lot of people really do struggle and are left really. And I think that's why I like what they do, because they offer the support all the way around.
No. I totally agree with you there. There's nothing that really makes you. It doesn't feel better if the person died quickly, or they took months, or they took years. It makes no difference to how you end up feeling. So yes, definitely a great topic and a great cause to raise funds for.
So you now have sorry.
Yeah, no, carry on.
You now have myself, Bridgetti, and David. So you've got 3 of us out of the 5 Days Live team. You just need another 5. We'll work on them for you.
Oh, definitely. No, anybody actually, if there's any viewers who want to come on and share a story, maybe you've had somebody's watching a family member who's suffered from cancer, or maybe there's somebody who's watching suffered from cancer and want to share their story and want to support it to help raise money. It'd be brilliant. Everybody's welcome to come on and share the stories, because more people that are, it's making more people aware what they went through, really, or like family members, what they've been through, how they coped with it, how they dealt with it, and somebody who's suffering from it. But love to share their story as well and make it more more known to people, so more people who haven't had to go through it actually see the full story, really.
Indeed. And I just about managed. I couldn't do it from here, so I've done it from the Facebook post itself. We've got the link into your page and all the details of everybody who's appearing and how to donate. So that is on November 23rd. There's a lot of hard work to go. We've already done quite a bit to actually get this together and to get people involved. And well done on that. And we look forward to November 23rd being a very successful day. And you set yourself a target of £100 or $120. I'm sure we can push past that during the course of the day.
Well, a lot of people say, why did I pick the 23rd of November? Here's an interesting thing. That's a question I keep getting. A lot of people message me, why the 23rd of November? If they go to my Cambridge Historian Facebook page, at the Cambridge Historian and look at the picture. I'm holding a newspaper, and the newspaper is from the 23rd of November announcing Kennedy's assassination. So I thought I had to.
Oh, wow.
So it's like connection to the newspaper. So it's from the 23rd of November, and I thought had to be sort of thing. So connection is with that picture was taken by a lovely lady who did it for me, and it's just come my iconic picture really. It seems to be connected to me, and it's just me looking at a newspaper. A lovely lady called Jane did it for me.
Well,
Awesome.
it has become.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, everybody recognises you from that photograph, and that's priceless, really. Right. Well, now I came in today with no agenda, and we've managed to go for 30 minutes without an agenda because we had a very special guest at the beginning. If you're just joining us now, rewind to the beginning and watch our special guest making his debut with Fonz on Facebook Live. Probably, it has to be said, well, how old is he, Fonz?
9 months. 9.
So,
yeah, he's asleep now, so I can't bring him back. he's chilling out now.
That was fast.
He's chilling out.
He's been listening to us, Bridgetti, so we obviously have that sort of effect.
Superpowers.
So we definitely have superpowers. Now, I was interested in which cameras people actually use when they're broadcasting live. Because people are always asking for advice on which camera should I actually have when I'm on BeLive TV. So I put a poll together today, and the up-to-date results are that 30 people use the Logitech C920, 8 people use their inbuilt camera, 3 people use a mobile, and Bridgetti's not voted yet, so I'm going to say 4 people use Logitech Brio. And Chris Salata, who's with the Disney show.
I've just seen it.
Yeah, Chris Salata, who's with the Disney show, actually uses a camcorder. So there you are. So most people, we know, this is not a scientific poll, but we can say that Logitech seem to own live video, and for 30 people to actually be using the same camera in a poll of 50 people.
They should start sponsoring.
Oh, they do. I mean,
but even just from even people that have asked that question that's not on BeLivers, it seems to be an overwhelming. When I watch stuff on YouTube, there's an overwhelming amount of people that actually use Logitech, and specifically the C920. It'd be staggering to know how many of those cameras they've sold, because there's just it seems to be the camera of choice. I mean, all the YouTube videos that I've seen when they put in recommendations, they all seem to. I mean, except for the guys who are into DSLR cameras, and can afford to get the equipment to be able to use DSLR cameras. The rest of them are all using and recommend the Logitech. So I guess live streaming was good news for Logitech.
Oh, yeah. All right. Sorry, I'm back. I got distracted. Sorry about that. It's the weekend, isn't it, Fonz?
And
I am back now.
On the question of camera, do you use additional software to tweak your camera a bit or not?
I just go straight from the C920 to BeLive, and we say hello to Barbara. And just a moment. Oh, I've broken it. Am I still here?
Yeah, we'll see here.
Good. Good. Strange things are happening on my desktop.
We're still here. We haven't gone anywhere.
Oh, this is live. The joy of live on a Friday evening as we wind down for the weekend.
Absolutely.
And no, I just, how you get a message or a notification. I just got a notification from somebody I've known for the last 12 years, Sarah Arrow, saying that I should get in touch with Alice.
Alice? Who's Alice?
Who is Alice?
You remember that
A
song?
town called Alice. Alice is in BeLive's group, and she's watched many of our shows, so it just shows. Yeah, okay, I'm going to do that. I've had quite an interesting day. I got an inquiry. People can actually say, right, okay, I'd like to have a chat with you. I say, yes, okay. Go along to Calendly and you can book 15 minutes and come and have a chat about live video. And I got a call today at 4 o'clock, and a lady called Kelly wanted to talk about live video on BeLive.tv. And she told me about it, and it's quite a story. Well, it is an interesting story. There's a Facebook group with 650,000 members.
What?
Wow.
And they're
Wow.
all
Wow.
nurses. They're all nurses. So 650,000 nurses all communicating together on Facebook. And the group leader uses BeLive.tv to broadcast into the group, which is good. Yeah. But next Wednesday, they're actually having a meeting with Johnson & Johnson. And it's at Johnson & Johnson's headquarters, and they've got to be around a table, 4 of them, actually live on air. And what they don't want is to have 4 separate cameras. Yeah. Because that would just look, that's not very professional. Well, it's, sorry. We love it. We love it that way. But they want 4 people and 1 camera.
Can I say something about Johnson & Johnson? I love the smell of their baby powder.
That's what comes from having grandchildren.
It's a smell I've been smelling a lot of just recently.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's a good job you like
it. Stephen.
Yeah.
It's what they want to do is totally doable. I mean, I've recorded some video with my camera hooked onto a tripod, and I got a shot of very wide range.
I've just got
I guess. Okay. And I mean, I could fit in easily. I could have, if I think, I mean, I only had 1 person in the shot, but I had the camera far away, and I could easily have fitted in 6 people. Yeah. You know, maybe more. Even, I mean, I could have captured an entire table. So it's totally doable. You know, they just have to put the camera onto a tripod.
Well, I put my hands up and said, I have no idea. Yeah. And I thought the best thing to do was to ask, well, I'm glad you know the answer too, but I actually passed it on to Jeff. Yeah. So Jeff is talking to the lady as well, which is good. And Barbara's saying for our information, J&J were sued for their baby powder causing women's health issues.
I'm aware of that too, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. We know that. Is it still on sale? Well, it must still be on sale because Fonz has just mentioned it.
It is still on the market, yes. It is still on the market, very much.
But that was so I've got a camera in there and it says it's Fonz, but I'm going to bring Fonz up. But it looks very dark to me, Bridgetti. Does it look dark to you?
Yeah. Can you see me?
I can't see it yet. It usually takes a minute for me to see when a guest comes on. So as soon as he comes on, or as soon as I can see it, I'll let you know. Yeah, it is very dark suddenly.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. We have another little guest.
That's somebody else. That's I'm looking. I've got kids all around me.
It's amazingly quiet. I mean, considering you've got kids around you, it's very quiet there. Your camera's suddenly gone very dark, Fonz.
Yeah, no,
I'm not sure what's changed.
Yeah, I've moved. Hold on, I'll stick the light on. Yeah, no, they're quite quiet because for my birthday I got a tranquilizer gun, so I just tranquilise them.
No.
Really.
I hope you actually read them a story.
No, I'll get them to read me one.
They can read you a story. Well, that's an alternative, yeah. I mean, that's two birds with one stone.
No, they're all good. They're all good. I'm still. You probably know me, Stephen, and I'm crazy as what kids are. So I've got a good sense of humour. So I'm on the same page as them. I think on the same level. I'm very childish in my ways. But with an adult, I suppose I'm a child in an adult's body, so I know what's right from wrong, but I still know how to have a laugh, and they're quite good around me because of that.
Brilliant.
It's funny how kids are very sensitive to that kind of thing. You know, they kind of, if you've just got that aura about you, kids kind of just always gravitate towards you when they walk through the door.
Yeah, no, I just anything to do with kids, like I just play games. You know what I mean? I don't want to grow up, so I'd have to grow up if I don't want to. But there's a time to be sensible when I have got to. When you have to do all the adult things, but when there's times you don't have to grow up, why should you have to? So I think probably that's
fun question. I mean, you know, with your show, do you find that your internet connection is usually good? I mean, do you kind of go and scout out the area ahead of it in advance to see whether the internet connection will be strong enough where you'll be streaming from?
Is this the I Live Here show?
Yes, yeah.
Usually I check out one show I didn't have time to check out, which was Meldrift, and I hope for the best. But usually I do. I check which standing in which places is good, which isn't, and some places have got really good things, and you don't get no signal at all, which is a shame. But that may change in the future. Like technology is always progressing all the time, so there might be times where the signal's perfect. But at the moment, I do try and keep into a signal area.
Have you heard of the Live U unit?
No,
it's called Live-U. It's an amazing gizmo, and I mean, if there's a sponsor out there, my hand's raised. I'd love to get one. But anyway, what the Live-U unit, it's just that, you know, in South Africa with the rand-dollar exchange rate, it just makes it prohibitively expensive for me. You know, I'm talking about in my currency, it'll be about roughly 15,000 South African rands. I mean, that's a lot of money, So I think that's roughly about, it starts, I think, at about $5,000 to $7,000 is the price range. But what this Live-U does is you can put in a couple of SIM cards. I think you can put in up to 3 SIM cards, and what it does is it will bond the signals from the different SIM cards for the network providers that you've got, and it'll create one strong signal. I've seen
it boosts the signal from users where you'd have one card. It boosts the signal to what you would get on all the signal you'd get on all 3 cards and make it into like one big.
It'll bond the signals. Yes, that's basically what it does. Yeah. Now I've seen Derek Van Dam. I don't know if you know who he is. He's a news. No, he's not related to Jean-Claude Van Damme. No, but people often ask him about it and they tease him about it. But he's a very well-known newsreader from CNN. Yeah. And so he's on the situation in Florida, and I mean, he was out in like the thick of the storm. I mean, it's like I was watching this guy and thinking, oh my goodness, just be careful, you know, because trees were falling left, right, and center around him.
Wow.
You know, the storm was insane, and it was like, you know, I sat like that. It was nerve-wracking watching him, because you're thinking, this guy can have a tree fall on him any minute. And his signal was so strong because he was using, you know, he uses the Live-U unit. Yeah. So those extreme conditions, it helps you have a really, really strong signal. So it's great for about people doing events, anyone in a public space where you're reliant on network signals. Fantastic, amazing live streams. And in fact, it's what you get, different sizes of these units. You get a starter kit. I think there's 3 levels of them, and that's what the TV stations are now buying. In these live units, because if you're streaming from a courtroom, for example, I know that one of the TV stations, or all of them, are getting it now. When they broadcast from a courtroom, for example, that you want a really good stream, or a sports event, or whatever. So this is the technology now that's available with the live unit, so you can stream from anywhere, literally.
But no, it's certainly changing. There'd be a time when you wouldn't need that. I think in the time when the internet will be everywhere, and you just pick it up from anywhere in many years down the future. When my grandson's in charge of the show, won't need to worry about signal.
When he's running the show.
Absolutely. We've actually got a project here locally in South Africa called Isizwe. Isizwe is a local word for water, and the philosophy behind that is they're saying that Wi-Fi signal should be as freely available as water to everybody, because access to the internet is so closely tied into education, especially for people in remote areas, and so it's a catalyst to getting education to people in remote areas.
I know in the UK a couple of years ago, because I was part of it, did an interview on the radio with the people doing it a few years back, or just probably over 5 years, thinking about it, that they did a thing where kids in schools were given a laptop and free internet for a year to boost their education. It was a trial run to see if it worked, and only lasted a year, so I don't know what happened. I thought it was a brilliant idea. Do you know what I mean? To give them a laptop, probably nowadays, probably equivalent to a tablet now, and free internet for a year. Do you know what I mean? It's boosting their education because they can find stuff out and look stuff up. But after the year, I didn't hear anything else about it, which is a shame.
Fons, I find that when it comes to doing stuff like that, there's a key ingredient to the success of a project like that. And the key to success is the headmaster of the school and the support, the IT teachers.
Yeah.
Because if you find a headmaster, it's like any organization. Any organization will inherit or feel the energy of its leader. And so if you have a headmaster that's anti-technology, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
You have to have the headmaster and his support staff buy into the whole technology thing. Because what happens is, we've seen it in South Africa many times. There's companies, donations are always readily available. They'll give a school a bunch of computers or iPads or whatever, and then it gets locked into a safe and it's not used. And the next minute, the technology is old, because the headmaster and the support staff hasn't bought into the idea. So I do believe that's one of the key ingredients, is to have the buy-in of that. But there's one great example I heard of not too long ago in Canada, actually, where they gave the kiddos iPads. And what they did was they then developed a program where the children went to old age homes, and they taught people in the retirement villages how to use technology with the iPads that they had. And then they could, it was brilliant. And then they went, what they did was they could keep in touch with these older folk that they now were building retirement villages using technology. And I thought that was brilliant, where you're kind of meeting young and old at the intersection of technology. That was brilliant.
No, it's a brilliant idea. You know, I mean, like you're saying, the young teaching the old how to use it, and then they're feeling like achievement because they've taught and all that, and then it builds a bond between the young and the old, so they can share experiences and make the younger people more knowledgeable as well about how things have changed, as well as teaching the older people what's happening now. That's brilliant. You know, I mean, that's something that should
actually, Fons, there's a lady in Stephen, I think I may have mentioned it to you before. There's a lady in the UK. She's called Valerie Woodgager. She actually started this initiative called Learn with Grandma, and that's part of her initiative, is trying to marry the younger generation with the older generation through storytelling.
Yeah.
And she's been incredibly successful. She started, different chapters using groups on the internet in different countries. I mean, it's literally spread all over because people get it. It's something we have to do. There's learnings from the younger generation too. So yeah, it's called intergenerational learning. I think it's great.
Yeah, no, it is. It's brilliant. I like the sound of it. Definitely. It's like a modern version of a pen pal, I suppose, isn't it, as well? Sort of thing, keeping in touch.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. That's a brilliant. It's a brilliant idea. I mean, when I was young, I always had first for looking at one of my sons always said to me, he goes, "You're like a sponge, Dad, because you soak up loads of information." I used to love chatting to older people who've been through the war, their experiences and stuff, and loved hearing it. And that's a lot of younger people don't really grab hold of that, because if they did, once you start, you lead on to something else and something else, and before you know it, you're so deep into it, you found something else out, and I love it. I mean, I've always tried to get my children involved. Not all of them have always been that keen on that kind of thing, not follow the same route as me, but they have, I mean, they have a grasp and knowledge of some things, but it's a shame. And to get people to do that by something that they share, like the younger people were saying, like tablets, they share an interest in tablets, and older people who want to learn, that's a good way to get them together and learn, younger teach. I think then the elders can get to know them, befriend them, get to know them, and chat about memories, and it's a learning thing all the way around.
And kids are good about that. I mean, children learn technology like crazy. It's like, they're just like, I mean, ask any parent out there, when we got VCRs and televisions and set-top boxes and whatnot, the people who first figured it out and who could connect it first were the kids.
Yeah, it's because
they have this amazing gift.
It's because it's everyday to us. Like I was saying a bit earlier to Stephen, before you were on, I think, about VHS. My mum and dad got a video recorder. We got it from Granada Rentals, and we rented it. It was a top loader with a remote control and a cable, and my parents had no idea how to work it, and I had to show them, because it was something that I knew every day in my life. Knew other people had a video recorder and knew about it. They had no idea because it was new. But it's what's the thing that's happening now, like computers for everyday life. I try and tell my children about computers and not having the internet. They can't understand. They can't grasp the knowledge of how we coped without the internet. I go, well, it never existed, so we didn't know what the internet was, so it didn't really bother us. But how did you cope? How did you find stuff out? Went to the library and things. The thing is, they still can't grasp how we didn't cope without it, but we didn't know what it was, so we.
True. If you've not seen it,
it was a different time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was a totally different time.
I mean, we had encyclopedias to learn from.
Yeah, I remember my parents buying a big pack of encyclopedias, and you did do that. Or you went to the library, or if there's something like now, I'm watching a TV program. I want to find about the history of the TV program. I would never know as a child. I'd just have to never know and live with it and find out. Now I just Google it and it tell me the whole thing. Yeah, so it is a changing world, and children don't know how lucky they are. It's like I'm saying to my kids, "Oh, I've missed this program." I go, You can watch it on +1, or you can look at it on demand, or if you just rewind the TV channel, you can. I go, back when I was a kid, I only had 3 channels. I go, you think about people older than me, like my mum, she only had 2.
Franz, do you remember how people used to, like, they put their life on hold because, Days of Our Lives or
Yeah.
whatever it was only going to be on at that time, so people used to cut their social engagement shorts because they had to go home because they're going to miss the next episode. And hello Gospel, welcome.
Well, over here it's Coronation Street and EastEnders. My mum was like that. Like, you had to. I'm a big fan of Doctor Who, and in the late 90s, they went head to head with Coronation Street, and my mum always won because she had to watch Coronation Street. But it shows you. Nowadays, I'd make her watch it on demand.
Yeah, you've got options now.
Yeah.
I'm heading up north
That's
this weekend.
the word. We've got options.
Yeah, I'm heading up north this weekend to see my mum. And she decided a couple of months ago that she was going to get into this internet thing and wanted a tablet. So I've set the tablet up, and my mum is going to be on email and Facebook and probably Netflix by Sunday.
Wow.
So it's going to be an interesting weekend. I said,
wow.
I'll show you. I said, I'll show you how to use it. She said, no, just set it up and then I'll use it. I'll find out. I'll explore. I'll do everything. So it's going to be an interesting weekend. She's 90, and
Wow.
to be wanted. I mean, the thing is that
Yay for her.
To want to learn is brilliant.
Yeah, one of the things that Facebook does is it means she's missed out. She feels she's missing out because everybody can see the photographs of children and grandchildren on Facebook, and she can keep in touch on a daily basis. So,
but a good
it's
thing
a great
as well,
incentive for her to want to learn.
But a good thing to be able to chat to them via video chats as well.
Well, that's it. My son and his lady are in Melbourne, so she'll be able to talk to them more regularly than she does at the moment, because at the moment it's she doesn't have any internet at all. Right. So thank goodness for 4G.
I'll tell you something interesting. You're talking about using the internet and all that. In the 1980s in Cambridge, in Sturton Street, there was a lady who lived and she had no gas, no electric, nothing, and refused to have it because she felt it was too modern of fandango. And this was in the 1980s. She just lit candles and lit a fire. Wonder what if she was still about, what she would have thought of the internet.
That's a good question, but we're very thankful for it.
Yeah.
Bridgetti, you have a show in an hour's time. Would you like to tell us all about it?
Yes, I've got a show in an hour's time in the BeLivers group. It's called Lights, Camera, Action Live. And this evening we're going to be talking about how to be engaging and conversational on camera. It's a skill that you have to learn, but it's something that you can learn. It takes practice and time, so we'll discuss how that can be done and how that will increase engagement on your live stream and hopefully get you more business if you learn how to be conversational and engaging. And it's things that we take for granted when you've been live streaming for a while, but for somebody who's brand new, it's an acquired skill. It's something that you have to learn how to do, especially if you've never ever done any kind of public speaking before, or if you've just not never had any practice. It is something that you can learn, that you can acquire. So come and join us in the it's only available in the BeLivers group. So if you're watching the show and you have not yet joined BeLivers, then go on and join BeLivers group and you'll be able to watch the show there.
I'm looking forward to it because we always learn something. Now, Fons, you and I together on Tuesday, but it's a very special show, isn't it?
Yeah. We've got Channel 5 in the UK, Jaywick promoter. He's been on there talking about Jaywick. Danny Sloggett. He's going to be coming. Should I say where he's coming? Where he's going to be?
Oh yeah, surely. Yeah.
Is it Turkey? Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Oh yes, I've seen that. I've seen that. So that's going to be an exciting show too.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He knows his he's a very chatty guy. So I think we got him for 2 weeks, haven't we?
We have indeed, and
He's a great guy.
He sent us his show reel.
Yeah.
He didn't need to audition, but he's so used to it. He sent us a show reel of about half a dozen videos that he's shot whilst he's been out there.
Yeah, he's been on Sky, BBC, and all that, and I suppose he's so used to having to send out his show reel. He's done it. He's a great guy, though. He's a good friend of mine. He's certainly very enthusiastic.
Yeah, and we had a fantastic show this week with Gospel and Sarah. Shout out to Gospel and to Sarah as they toured Rochester, and that was absolutely brilliant. In fact, it was so good. We've asked them to come back for a second visit of Rochester because there are plenty of things to actually see there. So looking forward to that too.
What people didn't see during that show, because I was in Cambridge, I had to be in Cambridge, that while I was going live, I was being attacked by a load of cows behind me. I was in a field. They were looking over my shoulder at like around me, actually watching.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so not the best of audiences, really. Well, I'm glad you got through that, because we need you to be there on Tuesday, and we need you to be there on November 23rd for the charity event as well, and for the new show we've got planned for the new year. Bridgetti, we've run over the hour again. Would you
We've
like
reached
to
the
close
top
the
of
show?
the hour.
We have.
Yes, I cannot believe it. We've got so much to talk about. We talked about a whole range of things this evening, and that's been fabulous. Fons, it was great having you as part of the show. Thank you so much. Thank you to Corinda for joining us live. Thank you to Gospel for joining us live. Anyone else who's joined us live, thank you so much. And for the replay viewers, thank you for joining us too. Wishing you, Barbara, thank you for joining us. And everyone, please be safe. Have a great weekend wherever you are. Please do not stream and drive. It's distracted driving is very, very dangerous. So please stay safe. Stream, enjoy your streams, but don't stream and drive. It's not safe to do so. Keep your mind and your eyes peeled on the road, everyone. So with that, have a fantastic weekend. So from me, Bridgetti in Cape Town in South Africa, have a great one. We'll see you on Monday. Don't forget, tune in to the birthday celebrations for BeLive on Monday. Special broadcast. And beyond Monday, we'll see you again next Friday. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye. And ending the broadcast. That's a wrap.